Hey there! Let's chat about something interesting, how Python stores to-do lists. I hope you are ready, because we are about to dive into the heart of Python's memory management to understand the storage of these lists. Python's approach to storing data structures, particularly lists, is one of its most remarkable features that make it so easy and flexible to use. When you think about a to-do list, or a matrix, it feels natural to consider it as a grid of rows and columns. But beneath the surface, it's way more interesting, so let's start unfolding the details. Picture a to-do list as a stack of arrays or lists, where each inner list represents a row, and the entire stack forms our to-do grid or table. To ensure that our lists maintain their order, we need to create a new list for each new row. Python's handling of nested lists plays beautifully in implementing to-do structures, as you can simply nest lists within lists to create a list of rows. Okay, now, when it comes to how Python stores these inner lists, we get in touch with something called the object model of Python. So, when you define a to-do list in Python, you are, in fact, defining a list of objects. Each of these objects can further contain another list representing another level, which gives us the second dimension. In memory, we are not actually storing each data type individually as some other languages do, like integer or strings. Instead, Python is smart and abstracts the data into objects. These object representations in memory are highly versatile, but what's really intriguing is how we store the nested lists. In Python, these inner lists are also stored in the heap area of memory. But here's where it starts to get cool. Python's memory manager takes care of allocating and freeing up space in the heap when objects are created and destroyed. So, behind every list operation, Python's garbage collector is doing its magical thing to manage memory. But where's this data physically stored? To be frank, Python's implementation of data structures like to-do lists is a complex matter of reference counting and garbage collection. Each object, including lists, have a counter that tracks the number of direct references to it. When Python's memory garbage collector runs, it analyzes these counters. But Python, being dynamically typed, and being incredibly fast for the most part, tends not to give explicit control to the programmer. That's right, the programmer doesn't need to worry about manually managing memory, one of Python's beauties. When Python encounters a to-do list, it allocates a certain amount of stack memory to hold the data structure. This memory allocation isn't static because Python's list object is actually implemented using dynamic arrays. As a result, list objects are highly adaptable and can resize automatically as more elements are appended to them. That part of memory management is something we don't often see outside of Python, which adds to our charm. Accessing a to-do list works straightforward. You reach out to the elements using their indices. When you access an element, Python performs an O operation, fast memory lookups, because it remembers where each element is stored using pointers. These pointers reference the next object in the list structure, and they are crucial when accessing elements directly or traversing the entire matrix. Multiplicities come into play in complex structures like 3D or 4D lists, and accessing or storing multidimensional data involves chaining these pointers through multiple levels. That's how Python manages to slice and dice 2D, 3D, and beyond lists. But don't worry, Python will take care of the pointer arithmetic, ensuring our data is organized neatly and efficiently. For a little more intricacy, when Python deals with list comprehension or map and filter functions, it constructs intermediate none objects and then stores them, which adds quite a few layers to our understanding of memory allocation. However, this is Python's smart way to apply transformations and aggregations without rewriting loops. Now that we've tackled the memory management part, let's discuss about slicing and dicing our to-do lists. Slicing is like Python's magic trick. It cuts out a subsection of our to-do list into a new one without the need to copy the inner lists element by element. Slicing is an O operation, where K is the number of steps we took along the array. Finally, let's appreciate Python's elegance by examining sorting. When sorting a to-do list based on a specific row or column, Python uses its built-in sorting methods with custom key functions, showcasing the power of Python's callable objects and lambda functions. That said, we should acknowledge that this abstraction does come with a trade-off. Python's handling of memory and objects isn't as efficient as statically typed languages when doing manual memory management or large computations. We need to be aware that the beauty of Python's simplicity is the price we pay in these cases. And there it is. A to-do list isn't just a simple grid of rows and columns in Python. A world of memory management, object modeling, and dynamic arrays unfold within a seemingly straightforward structure. So, next time when you create or manipulate a to-do list in Python, remember, it's not as simple as it looks. There's an intricate dance between the memory allocation, management, and data access happening silently without your explicit control. I really enjoyed the ride and learning about this with you. Now let's explore even deeper aspects of Python with this post. Visit neeraj.dz.io and subscribe to TechLab to stay updated. Catch you on the flip side.